going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Deeply about these things. You've been heavily involved with them, and I think a lot of us could use a little bit of a course in kind of understanding the differences and your thesis behind some of them. But I don't want to let you get away today without making some of these predictions for next year. Getting close to the end of the year, we need to hear these things.
I wouldn't call them predictions, but you did ask me for a market outlook, Becky. Mm-hmm. So I'll give you just a few thoughts, 5 thoughts. One is that if we move into a situation where interest rates are increasing, easy money is turned off. First, as night follows day, emerging markets will shudder. And the knock-on effects of rising borrowing costs, soaring dollar, surging food and fuel prices are always in my investing career bad for countries like Brazil and Russia, as well as the emerging EMs like Egypt, Mexico, et cetera. That's kind of number one, and that's just pattern recognition from years of looking at the market. Secondly, I would say to people, don't sell China tech companies, at least at these levels, until the 20th Party Congress in October. Where we'll see if their politics rotate away from nationalism and back to expansion, which is what a number, I think, of very smart people are looking for. Third, I describe this next one as shovel the manure out of your stable, dispose of the frothy end of the market, the meme stocks, Dogecoin, the dodgy SPACs, all what I will call the technical term, all the crap.
Okay, but that's your differentiator.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. And we have Glenn Hutchins clearly reading off a script, guys. He's clearly reading. They told him what to say. We know how it goes. This is all a movie, guys. And what does he say? Don't sell China tech. You better not, because the rise of the dragon is definitely coming. And then we have the Turkish lira. The central banks are up to their old tricks. But we know this is going to happen to all fiat. The dollar is next. We know they printed all this money to kill the dollar. They just haven't pulled the lever yet. But we also know it was all part of a plan to get us moved over to stable coins and crypto, to build this fourth industrial revolution where robots, algorithms, and drones take over the economy, and humanity goes inside of the metaverse, because we know when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Turkish lira plunging to new depths this morning as the nation gives the world a lesson in the dangers of, well, terrible central banking. Senior economics reporter Steve Leisman joins us with more on all of it. Steve.
Morning, Andrew. Yeah, the lira this morning cascading through another milestone, dropping through 15 to the dollar yesterday. And now, I don't know what you call it, but nearly in free fall. The lira now trades at 16.7 to the dollar, closer now to 17. Actually, if we hang on here, it may hit 17 as it's going in what amounts to an historic deterioration in a currency and economy once thought to be a model for emerging markets. The latest sell-off comes after the Turkish central bank cut interest rates again amid surging inflation, the classic example of what not to do and of the damage that could come from a central bank losing its independence. Turkish President Erdogan has an eccentric belief that interest rates are, quote, the mother of all evil. And he's fired his finance minister, several central bank governors until he found someone who would do his bidding. That is, cut rates in the face of accelerating double-digit inflation. So while Turkish inflation has more than doubled to 21% year over year since September, central bank has cut the policy rate to 14% from 19%. That's on the right side of your screen there. The policy has, of course, pummeled the currency and made it difficult for people to even afford food and essentials in an economy that's very reliant on imports. It could help the country's exports, except for one thing. Erdogan ordered the minimum wage to rise by 50%, getting rid of any cost advantage perhaps created by the currency. Even if Turkey were raising rates, the currency would likely be challenged. Recent Fed movements have created troubles for emerging markets around the world. Compound that with what economists believe to be the precisely wrong monetary policy, and you have a recipe for economic disaster. So say what you want, Andrew, about the Fed being a little bit behind the curve, maybe a lot behind the curve. At least they're going in the right direction. And you can maybe see that in, the 10-year yield, which is 140 this morning. A lot of confidence in the independence of the central bank, which is worth money to average Americans. And, whatever the Fed is, at least it's not Turkey, Andrew.
That I think central bank digital currencies were concocted in hell by Satan himself. They are incredible control by governments over everybody's bank account, and they're going to create a void of privacy for every individual citizen. I think they're horrible, but I think that's where they want to go.
The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.